Hello my friends, and welcome to the next part in making a journal. So we ended last time with the signature and the cover. So the cover is sewn. I have sewn on my machine all around it, but that's nothing you need to do. So just jump that if you don't have a sewing machine. It will keep it in place anyway. I'm just doing it because I think it's cute with the sewing. I like it, so I sew when I can and want. So I'm just bending my cover a bit so I can feel that it's... Now we have a sturdy but still a soft cover. And it's time to sew in the signatures. I'm going to take a pen and my ruler. And I'm just doing a little mark, maybe, where I have my... Didn't want to go off. Just so I get my crease on the right spot. So I know where to do my measurements. This was not a good pen. Need to go get another one. Now you can see I have done some just some marks, so I can see where my spine is bending like this. It's easier when you're going to sew in the signature to know where the middle is. So then I'm going to take my ruler and measure, and it's 3.5 centimeter from this edge to that edge, and the middle of that is 1.7 centimeter. So I'm kind of making a mark there. Doing the same here. 1.7. And 1.7. So there we have the middle of the spine. And now it's more easy to decide where to put the signature in. So I'm just putting the signatures 1 centimeter that way and 1 centimeter that way. doing the same again. 1 centimeter and 1. 1 centimeter and 1. And there is where I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew in these parts. I like to have a lot of room in the middle, and if you now had 3 signatures, you can sew them in where these 3 dots is. But I seem to have a lot of things in the middle, and then I need to make sure I have a lot of space. To put things in. So this is the first one that I'm going to put in here. So I'm finding the middle, and I have my textile piece here, so it will keep it in place. So I'm making sure that my papers are where I want them. And remember now that if you have small papers, don't put them in the middle. Put them either up or down, so you can sew on 2 places. So I'm just checking to be sure that I don't have any small ones floating around where I don't want them. Then I'm taking a clip and put on this side. Folding it the other way, take a clip and put it on this side. This way the signature will be held together, and when you put them in, they won't move. The paper will keep them in place. And make sure that you put the papers the right way. I don't know how many times I have sewn in things upside down, so when I open it up I can't imagine how I did it, but they are upside down. Then I'm taking my signature and making sure that it's kind of in the middle. We have the same measurements on this side as we have on this, and we need to go down a little bit more, like so. And now you can see I have put my marks here, and that will be too narrow to the edge of this one, so we need to go further down with that one. And the same, we have just 1 centimeter here, so I will put that up 1 centimeter more, so it will be sewed kind of here to make sure that it won't break. So then I'm taking my pen and I'm making the mark in the middle, and then I will put it instead there. And these, you can't see these later when it's sewn in, so you can do like that. So we know we need to have it where the X's are. So then I'm taking my sharp tool, or you can use a needle, or you can use a nail. Something that is sharp so you can make your holes through the spine and through the signatures. So then I'm doing the same on this one. If you are kind of unsure how to get them in the right spot, you can make sure that you can do this again and make it outside in and kind of mark this in the middle so that you can know where to put it. You can take a ruler and you can measure 3 centimeters and then put it the same way, 3 centimeters, and put your tool in and go through. Like that. Now I'm pretty much have done this so many times, so I can kind of feel where I'm going through. But if you feel that you need to do the measurements, do that. I'm kind of eyeballing this kind of nicely nowadays. See? Okay, we have the holes and we have the signatures, and now we need to make sure that this is up, and on the signature that this is up. Are you with me? So then I'm taking this is Mercer thread that is for crocheting. You can use waxed thread or something else that is really, really strong. And I'm going for double thread. So I'm making a knot on one end and have it double when I sew. Then I'm making sure that it's strong. I'm taking 3 times this length of the book on the thread, and that is double, so 6 if you are thinking one single thread. So then you can choose if you want to sew from the inside or if you want to sew from the outside. But I'm going to cover up in the spine, and then I'm going to sew from the inside. I want to have the knot on the inside in case something should break, then I can mend it in, and I don't have to break the back part of the book where the thread is covered with some lace. So out with the needle in the middle, taking it through until I have my knot and a couple of threads in the middle. I like to do a knot so I'm sure that I want to run it through, but you don't need to do that. But I'm taking this safe, playing it safe, so it's easier in when you're a beginner, when you are wibbling around with the threads and the signatures and the cover, then you suddenly have you taken this too far, so you have to restart everything because you have pulled the thread through the hole, and you need to start over again. So make a knot. So we are going to the hole in the spine, from the inside out. And you don't need to pull it too hard, just make sure that you have it through there and through there. Then you're going to flip this and go back in this hole of the spine, or the other one of them, doesn't matter which way you go. You're going to do both holes. So take this up again and then go through this hole. And as you have the clamp now, it's easier, and hopefully you can just you don't need to search for the holes. Now I did move it, so like that. But if you don't have these, it will move around, so keep the clamp on until you have pull it through all the holes. So now we are through 2 of the holes, and looks like that on the back. Then down the last hole. I can see where I have my holes, like that. And out the same way. And now it looks like this. And like this. Now the tricky part is coming. We are going back into this hole. And that's why I told you you didn't need to pull so hard, because we are going up in this hole and it's a bit tricky. So I'm going through this hole first. Back up again. Like that. And then through the hole in the middle and back to this place. Now I did pull too hard, so I need to pull it out a bit so that I can hold this and look where my hole is, so that I can pull it through. Like that. Now you can let go of the clamp, so you can move the papers as you want. Now you can see we have thread here. So let's start pulling it like that. So when you have this one, you will pull it like that, so you can feel that you have the knot all the way. And then you pull this one back, so you can make it straight, and then pull it in this edge through again, and then pull the last thread again, like that. And now you are going to feel like you can play guitar on these. They should be really tight. And then check, so you can make your pages flip like this, and nothing is odd or on the wrong place, like that. So when you have checked that, it's time to pull a little bit more, not too much. And then you're taking your threads and make a knot. Cutting off the thread by the needle. You can leave these if you want to put some decoration in. You can have a pearl or something that will dangle down here, or you can just leave them like this to make sure in case you need to change the paper. You can also glue something on top of this, so you are sure that this knot will hold. You can just put a little piece of glue on top of this, so it won't give in and start pulling up. So our first signature is in place. You can start to look in it like this. This is the most fun part, when you have sewed it in and you can look at your pages, flip them and feel that it's a book. Nice. Okay, let's do the same thing one more time so you are sure how this is done. So I'm putting a clamp so this will hold back, so it's not in the way when you sew the other one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I need to get the thread in the needle, and that's always I pulled it off on the first try. I always try to do this off camera, because when I do it on camera I always make the mistake and need to do it again. So kind of leaving from this edge to the middle, and there is where I make the knot. Kind of like that, so we have a knot in the middle and a little piece dangling the other way. So let's take the other signature. If you feel that you got this, you can just fast forward. So if you feel that you don't need to see this one more time. But for those of you that feels that you need to see a bit more how I do this, can look now. On this one we have this small one, so now I'm making sure that the pages are where I want them, so we don't have anything dangling around where it shouldn't be. Then I'm taking my clamp again, put in one on this side, making sure it's stuck into the middle. We want these to be all the way to the edge, like that. And when you feel it like this, you can feel if this isn't where it should be. Then reset the clamp and check so it is stuffed into the middle properly. Again, check this is up and this is down. This is up and that is down. So I'm taking my pen, doing the same thing as I did with the other one, putting it so I have the same length on the papers, making a mark where I want the holes. Taking my sharp tool and putting it through. Starting in the middle, from the inside and out, pulling until my knot is in the crease. Going out in the middle. And going back on the other hole. Open up your signature and go into the hole you made with your poke tool, hopefully. Now I can't see. And back out in this one. Out on the book cover. Take it easy and take your time when you sew in, because this is important that you do it right, and I can assure you you will make mistakes and redo it on several occasions, but if you think first and sew later, then it's bigger chance you can pull this off. Going back in the middle hole. And back in the middle of the signature. I'm putting one thread on each side of the middle, like that. So when I sew it, I will sew it over the thread in the middle. Secure it, kind of. So now I'm doing the same thing again. I'm going on the back and I will pull where I put it out the first time, making sure I have both threads. Going to the middle and pull this one back. Follow it kind of the way you have sewn. Pull this one as much as you need to get it and then pull the one with the needle. Check. Now you can see this was loose. So then we need to stretch it again. I have kind of pulled one thread instead of both with the needle. So I need to check which one it is. I'm pulling a bit carefully so I won't break anything. Why doesn't it want to? Maybe it was the first one. So now it's better. Pulling again, so I'm making sure that it's really tight. Like that. Taking off my clamps. Do the flip through, we can say so. So we are checking that the signature is in place before we cut any threads. Sometimes a paper will move anyway. Now you can see on this one that is small, you have it sewn in both here and here, so it's secured and can't move, even if it's a smaller one. Keep going. Check each paper. Make sure that everything is tight and nicely sewn in. Now we can cut off the needle. And then I'm making sure that I have one thread on each side of the middle thread, doing one big knot and another one. Checking one more time. Nice and strong. Ta-da! We have a journal with 2 signatures sewn in, and these can peek out, and that's nice. You can see them like old book textile. Are you still with me, or have you given up? Don't give up. Go again if you haven't got it right the first time. And don't do it kind of cheating. Do it right, and if you don't get it stretch like this, go do it again. Take it off and start over. I have done that a lot of times, and you need to be satisfied with your job and feel that it's nicely done. You will get disappointed when things start moving in your journal, and that's a sloppy job. So no cheating. Do it properly the first way, or do it properly the other way, or the other time. So it's better to do it twice than doing it bad one time. I like this. Feels good. So now that we have sewn this in, I'm kind of going to actually put some glue on my knot. So I'm sure that this will stick. So I'm just taking a piece of textile and I'm not going to sew anything on these, so I'm cutting them, leaving an inch, and then I'm folding one this way and the other one this way. And I'm taking my glue that is filled up, so now we're getting glue right away, and putting it down on top of the knot and on each of these strings. And then I'm taking a piece of textile and secure it like that. Then the thread won't go anywhere. It stays in place. Doing the same with the other one. Taking my threads, cutting them about an inch. Put one up and the other down. Putting glue on top of it. Kind of smooshing it in, and a lot around the knot. And secure it with my piece of textile. This isn't something you need to do, but I always think I want to do my best and make sure that my work is properly done. Like that. Now you can see how beautiful this is with the textile in the middle. I think it's nice when you have this peeking out, and it looks a bit like, really like a kind of junk journal. Handmade. So let's leave this to dry. I'm leaving that in the inside so it won't glue on the paper and glue those together. I have decided that we are going to do the cover permanent, not a loose one. It will be glued on directly to the cover. It's the most common, so let's do it that way. I'm taking a piece of textile that kind of fits the cover, a little bit smaller. And then I'm taking some paper, and I'm going for the same as the size of the cover. No, not the size, the type as the cover. Making it a little bit bigger than the textile piece. And then I'm going to put this away. This is the back of the cover that will be like this. And I put this on because I'm going to sew on the cover, and then it's nice to have the textile behind it, so then when we glue it down it will be secured with textile, and the paper won't break when you sew in it. So let's glue that down. We are not going to finish the cover today on this recording. It will be too little time for that, but I thought we could start at least. As this is the fun part. I love to do the covers. It kind of makes the whole journal. And this is where you really can get creative and do something fun. You can just leave it as it is and maybe put a string or a seam binding around it and close it like that, and maybe just put on a doily on the top of the, but I want to go a little bit further and put a few more things on it and actually do some embroidery on it, just to inspire you a bit. Like that. Now we have a nice back to sew and knot our thread in, so it won't go through the paper and break. So then when this is done and everything is embroidered and sewn, this is the side that will be glued down. So we have the textile down against the paper, and all the knots and the sewing will be hid against the cover. So I think we will stop there, but now this can dry, so we can sew in it the next time and put in whatever decorations we want. You can think a bit about that if you want to have some picture or maybe some little frame, or maybe a piece of wood, something that make it special and personalize it and make it yours, something that get you going, a bit inspirational. So every time you look at your journal, you're thinking, yes, it's my journal and I want to use it and I want to play in it. So it's important that your cover is something attractive, that you really feel that you love. Every time you look at your journal, you should feel love. I think that is kind of important. So go find your personal stuff. It can be bulky, but it's up to you. If you want to have a flat cover, or if you want to put maybe a key on it, or something else that is a bit bulky, that is nice. If you have a key to your heart that you need to secure, you can put it there, or maybe some jewelry that is broken and you have always loved that jewelry and now you can sew it onto your journal. So I hope that this was inspirational and that you not struggle too much to get your signature in. I think this is a easy way to do it, so I do this most of the times, sew it in like this, and it's easy to see that it's in place, and it's easy to cover it up later, so you don't need to do the hidden spine. That is another way to do it. I have tutorials on that already done in my playlist, so you can go check that out if you would like to, as a little extra knowledge. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I will try to answer them as much as I can. And if you like this series with how-to, I will appreciate if you give me a thumbs up and maybe a little comment and subscribing. It's always nice. You don't miss out anything by doing that. Help all your friends too by subscribing. I will leave my email also if you want to send a question in person, so you don't need to write it down in front of everybody else. But there are no stupid questions. Every question is important, and I promise I will answer all your questions in time. So please let me know if there is something I'm not doing easy and explaining well, and I will try again. so we have a journal, and it's time for the fun part. See you soon again. Until next time, bye bye from Sweden.